These are the top affordable Airbnb markets here in Colorado. It's not Aspen, it's not Telluride, both of which have an average home price above $3 million. No, every city that's on this list here today has an average home price below $600,000. And in fact, one of the cities has some homes in the $300,000 range. A lot of my STR clients have never heard of these places, and I suspect that you haven't either, including the #1 place on AirDNA's 2025 list of the best Airbnb markets in Colorado. All of these towns offer the quintessential Colorado mountain lifestyle: skiing, hiking, fishing, mountain biking at a fraction of the cost of the better known market. And I threw in an affordable urban area near Denver just for fun. So in this video, I will break down each market, its median home price, its attractions, and at the end of each section, I will show you a current listing on the market right now in that area and what kind of projected revenues you could expect from that property. Before we begin, you need to know there's a bit of a catch with some of these towns. In fact, 3 of the 6 towns that I have on this list have a problem that could make or break your Airbnb. I'll get into that in a little bit, but let's just dive into the list right now. Stick around to the end of this video and I'll show you the most affordable town on my list where I found a pretty cool potential Airbnb for under $400,000. The first place on my list was named in the summer of 2025 by AirDNA as the best Airbnb market here in Colorado. Probably the best thing about this town is that it is really close to a different town. Breckenridge is 45 minutes north of here, where nearly 1.5 million skiers visit every single year. It's one of the more expensive markets on my list here today, and yet still I was able to find a pretty cool option for an Airbnb property under $600K. I'll get to that in a second. There's some great hiking nearby at the Buffalo Peaks Wilderness, and the town itself has some really cool retail, restaurants, and coffee shops to enjoy. I'm talking about Fairplay, population 755 people, and median home price of $580,000. Fun fact about Fairplay, it's the real South Park upon which the Comedy Central show is based. Unlike Breckenridge, Fairplay still has somewhat affordable homes. Let's take a look at a particular listing that I like right now. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. It's a little basic, but it has some really nice remodel work, and it has a great deck and an existing hot tub, which is almost a must at this point for mountain properties. The listing claims that it made $84,000 as an Airbnb in 2024. To me, that feels a little aggressive, and AirDNA projects that revenue number at around $64,000, which feels closer to me. Honestly, there's actually a better listing out there right now, but I'm not sharing it because I'm trying to get a client to buy it. But I should caution you, Fairplay, along with the next 2 cities on this list, have a bit of a problem. It's easy enough to avoid, but you do need to know about it so that you don't end up with an Airbnb that just sits idle. I actually did a recent experiment with ChatGPT where I asked it to find me the best Airbnb markets in Colorado, and it failed miserably for a lot of reasons, including its inability to recognize this problem that I'm talking about. Okay, let's go to the other side of the state that has an up-and-coming town that seems to have real potential and isn't crazy expensive yet. I'm James Carlson. I am a realtor here in Colorado focused on short-term rental investors and second home buyers. I help people run revenue numbers, and I know the Airbnb laws all across the state. I've helped nearly 100 clients buy vacation rentals everywhere from Denver and Colorado Springs all the way to Breckenridge and beyond in the mountains of Colorado. If you're interested in an STR in Colorado, reach out to me at the email in the description below. All right, the second town on this list is in southwest Colorado, snuggled in the San Juan Mountains, a charming downtown with a river running through it that's dotted with shops and restaurants. It's just 30 minutes from the Wolf Creek ski area, and it's got numerous hot springs which form part of the city's name. This place is Pagosa Springs, population 1,793, and a median home price of $595,000. Its biggest draw is right there in the name, all the hot springs that are found throughout the city. But it's also got skiing and numerous hiking trails in the surrounding San Juan National Forest. Take a look at this current listing out there. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath listed at $599,000. Updated furniture and a hot tub would go a long way, but it's already got these big vaulted ceilings and a wall of windows, which is always a huge eye catcher on Airbnb. And it's less than 10 minutes from downtown Pagosa Springs. AirDNA projects $59,000 in gross revenue, which, to be honest, for this price, is not that good, which reminds me of something that you need to know about the Airbnb market before we go on to the next city. Let's talk for 30 seconds about the state of the STR market in 2025 and my best advice for success right now. Short story, it's tough. That said, my successful STR clients here in Colorado follow some really simple advice. Bring your freaking A game. Unique design, fun amenities, and killer photos are the only way to make any money right now. Okay, this third city is about 30 minutes away from the state's second biggest city, and it sits at the foot of one of America's most visited mountains. The town is Woodland Park, population 8,043 people, and a median home price of $535,000. Known as the city above the clouds, Woodland Park is a huge draw because of its proximity to Pikes Peak, which has a new state-of-the-art visitor center at the top and a tram that will take you from the base all the way to the peak. It's also got gold medal fishing waters nearby and the big city of Colorado Springs just down the hill. And then a cute little downtown with some shops and restaurants and the Florissant Fossil Beds National Monument just up the road. Let's take a look at this listing that just popped up. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, new construction in my favorite subdivision west of Woodland Park. I found the modern homes with even a touch of mountain cabin vibes outperform their competition if designed well. And I've seen that with this client and this client both in the same area. Best part about it, it's priced at $480,000. AirDNA projects that it will make $45,000 gross annually, which I actually think is a little low compared to some of the other new builds that I have seen with my clients in the area. If designed well and updated with some cool amenities, I think this should get closer to 50 to 55K. The second to last city here is the only urban area on my list, but first we should talk about that problem that I was mentioning before, and it affects the 3 previous towns: Fairplay, Pagosa Springs, and Woodland Park. The problem with these towns is pretty simple. You cannot do Airbnb investment properties within the city limits. Fairplay and Woodland Park only allow STRs if it's your primary residence, and Pagosa Springs, while they do allow for Airbnb investment properties, they only allow it after you've owned the property for 2 years, so that's not going to work. So why did I put these cities on the list? Well, my investors look to the unincorporated county areas outside of these towns where vacation rental investments are legal. This is a pretty good time to remind you that you should work with an agent who understands these distinctions. Before we end with the most affordable area on my list, let's talk about the only urban area on it. Hey, if you found any of this STR advice helpful so far, hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss my next video. All right, this fourth city is definitely the most boring entry on the list, but it still makes for a good investment, and it's all about price and location. 15 minutes to downtown Denver and 25 minutes to Boulder, both super attractive cities and both cities that do not allow short-term rental investments. I'm talking about Westminster, a town northwest of Denver with a population of 115,000 people and a median home price of $538,000. This is your typical suburb with chain restaurants, though the original eat-in movie theater chain Alamo Drafthouse opened a location here a few years ago, which I think signals its potential. The benefit of Westminster is being one of the very few places near the metro of Denver that actually allows for non-owner occupied STRs. Check out this listing. 4-bed, 2-bath home priced for $550,000. Is the home itself super unique? No, but it's already furnished and designed to catch the eye. Add a hot tub out back and you'd have a solid Airbnb, just a quick car ride from everything in Denver. AirDNA projects $67,000 gross revenue. Combine that type of revenue with the huge tax benefits of 100% bonus depreciation and the STR loophole, and this investment starts to look pretty good. All right, let's go to the last and most affordable Airbnb market on my list here today. We are going from the biggest city on my list to a town so small it does not have a listed population. What's great about this little spit of a town along US 285 is that it's only an hour and a half from Denver and less than an hour to Breckenridge. And it's close to some great hiking in the Lost Creek Wilderness. It also lies in a valley floor with some of the best wide open vistas, perfect for scenic driving. The town I'm talking about is Jefferson, Colorado, or more accurately, unincorporated Park County. Maybe best of all are the prices. The median home value right now is hovering around $470,000. And then there are some for even less. Check out this great little cabin I found for $393,000. I love its open concept, vaulted ceilings, and at that price, you don't need it to produce a lot of income, and yet still, AirDNA projects $44,000 in gross revenue. As I said before, if you bring your A game in design and amenities, which this place needs a little bit of, you can outperform your competition by 20 to 30%. Hey, if you're researching the best Airbnb markets, either here in Colorado or anywhere in the States, do not rely on AI. I told you about this experiment that I tried recently with ChatGPT. Well, the results were alarming. If you're interested in how that played out, check out this next video. And if you're looking for an Airbnb investment or a second home here in Colorado, reach out to me at the email in the description below. Thanks for watching.